Hello, this is Mike Evans, drummer with the Electric Luddites. We're a band from Sheffield in England, and this is part of my video series called 2 Box for Newbies. Reason for doing this is that I got hold of a 2-box machine some weeks ago and had some difficulty getting to grips with it to start. I think it would have helped to have a few videos for somebody to show me around the kit, so now I know a bit about it. That's what I've decided to do. So this video is basically what the buttons do, very simply, so you know what the buttons do. Right, effectively, you can imagine this being chopped in two. This side of it, you have individual buttons that you push, and they represent the pads and the cymbals. Okay, so they laid out like this: kick drum, snare drum, hi-hat, and these are connected to the kit that's actually sort of set up on the moment, the first kit on the screen. You then got tom 1, tom 2, tom 3, and normally, of course, when you buy the kit there's only 3 toms, but very good of them, they've assigned a 4th one, assuming you're going to want to upgrade and add a 4th tom. And into each of the kits they've built in a 4th tom sound as well, so that's on there. Similarly with the cymbals, there's 2 cymbals that you get with the kit, but again they think, oh well, you might want to upgrade and add another one, so they've added an extra one again. And each of the kits they've built in, they've got each of these buttons are filled. So when you press them, you see they light up. And I've not got this connected to my drum kit, but when you bang the kit as well, they also light up. So as you're playing, they light up and you can see what they are. It's also used to select which instrument you want to edit using this section that we'll go on to in a minute. The last bit of this is this more button here. And what this is like, it's like a sort of shift key on a keyboard. It goes to sort of an uppercase. If you imagine this lowercase, it goes uppercase. And basically what this does is that on the snare drum, on the toms, there's a rim sound as well as the main sound. And to find out what the rim sound is, you press the more button at the same time. So the snare itself is like that, and the more button, that's what the rim sound is. I haven't got assigned rim sounds on the particular kit that's on at the moment, so there's no point in doing it, but the same thing applies. Now, there isn't a rim sound on the kick drum, you can't do anything on there. The cymbals on the hi-hat, they've got 3 zones. These have got 2 zones, it's got the main head and it's got the rim. The cymbals have got 3 zones that you might have read about if you read the documentation: the edge, the bow, and the bell. But for some reason, I've not been able, if you press the more and click on that, it doesn't seem to change, so I don't think you can operate it like that. Perhaps if somebody is telling me I'm doing it wrong, they can put their own video and let us know. So okay, so this side of it is to do with the drums. Okay, and that's what's happening there. Just for information, where's the sound coming from? Well, I've got a lead here, and it's into this little monitor that I've got there. That's where the sound is coming from. You can put a headphone in there and have a listen, but obviously it's no good me having a headphone. You'll never hear it, will you? So I've plugged it into there. So what's this second side of it? Well, this is the brain side of it, really. This is what you control anything that's in here. It is an open source system, which means you can take things out, you can change it, you can add things in. All right, so let's go in a bit closer so you can see it, see what we got here. You've got the top here, you've got push buttons, okay, and these here down the bottom you can twist, and this one up here you can twist. Let's start with this. This is the level button, which is the main volume button. That controls the output from the kit. So the output is going through there, it's controlling the volume, so I can make the volume louder, make it quieter, and if you've got a headphone in, it does that as well. So that's what this does. But let's go on to these and see if we can do it down now. Okay, right. You got two buttons. You can see this is sort of segmented. Okay, first of all, you've got a choice between unit and kit. The kit is the kit that actually you're looking at this particular time. And if you look at this big number here, number 1, that's number 1 kit on the list, or on my list anyway. You can actually move them around, which we might cover in a later video. Streep is my name for this particular kit, and by pressing that, it means we can control the things here, control this kit. The other thing is unit. If you press the unit is the overall master system of the brain. So anything that you apply when you're looking at the unit affects everything on the kits, whereas the individual one just affects the specific kit you're on. And it's segmented here. If we go close up here, you see that if you run a line through there, okay, and these separate here. So basically, what this, you've got 3 lines on this little screen. The top line, in this instance, is save, stop and play. You control those by these buttons here. Okay. The bottom, the middle one there, Streep, tells you the name of the kit. Okay. If there was a song, it would put the name of the song in there, or if it was a metronome, it would tell you it was a metronome in there. I've taken all the songs off to save some time, but each of the kits has either a metronome assigned to it or a backing track you can play along with, and thus they come up on this particular screen. And this is what these bottom figures are. The number 1 here tells you it's number 1 kit, and if you want to change the kit, you just turn it and it goes up the list, you know, all the way through the kits that are built in, up to kit number 100. All right. The order and the names, ignore them because they might be different than you got in your machine, because I've changed some and I've put some new ones in. The second thing then controls whatever it says there, and this one controls whatever it says there. Now this one, because there's nothing here, it's not controlling it. The tempo, basically that tells you what there was a built-in kit onto this song, but I've taken it off. But it was the built-in kit. This tells you it was a 4/4 beat. Okay, the tempo, or actually, I think there might have been a metronome on it. So it's set as to 4/4, and that's the tempo, and you can change the tempo of that. So these twist-in buttons here change the bottom ones, and the ones at the top select the things that are on the top. Simple as that. Now, how do you make any of these change? This is what these are for here, these page buttons. Okay, so we're on kit, and you got page up and you got page down. So as we press through, it changes. But whatever it is, the bits that are on the bottom control that, and the bits at the top control this. I'm not going into a lot of detail of this because you can read up exactly what each of these are, but it's just so you understand what button does what. Okay. And we're on kit now, so the pages run through the kit here. If I change it to unit, there are there's different information. You got mix. You've got the triggering level. That means how heavy you need to hit the pad before it activates, and stuff like this. Calibrate the hi-hat. So those are different things. So there's different set of parameters on the unit or on the kit, but the same thing applies. Like on this one, if it's something underneath there, you can change it. So you can change that. You can't change that. There's something there which is V for volume. It means that you can press and change that. And along there, again, by twisting these, you can change whatever's there. So we'll go back to kit. Okay, go back. So that's what happens. But I'll just show you So I think that's it really. I think those are what the buttons for. So you now know what the buttons are for. If you go this side, perhaps if I turn it up, it would be a bit louder. Okay. This is do the kits, so you can flick through and listen to what the kits are like. So you can play to your heart's content. One of the things I would say is that it may or may not be obvious, but depending on how you've set this up, depending on if it's attached to a monitor or a PA system or you're listening to the headphones, it is going to sound different. So don't delete anything you don't like when you hear it on the headphones, just in case when you plug it in and play it through your monitor, you like the sound of it. All right, so it's worth listening to what so those are what the buttons are for, and that's the end of this part of my video, and you've been listening to 2 Bucks for Newbies. I might be putting this video onto this website, which is 2bucksfornewbies.weebly.com. It's free, 2 bucks for newbies at weebly.com, and I'm hoping to put these videos on after I've created them as a resource for you. That's the end of this one.